I pulled you over
Because you're a murderer.
Yes, people, how are we doing? Red Pill Phil here on YouTube. Good to see you, and I hope you're doing very well. This is a video that I should have really covered the other day whilst I was on the stream. So I'm going to do a quick little video to talk about it now. The weaponized, liberalized Marxist system that's rolling out and getting all demographics to fight against one another, weaponizing and toxifying one another, is off the chart, and we've seen it and we know it happens. Yeah, I'll still get thumbs down for talking about it, and I'll still get called a Nazi for talking about it. The ridiculous thing is, you can see it's as clear as the nose on your face, the element of ignorance.
I pulled you over
because you're a murderer.
That is really crawling out here now. The element of aggressive rhetoric towards individuals when they've done nothing wrong. This is a clip of a policeman taken from Australian Sky News, and this policeman is in America. He's pulled over this lady, happens to be a black lady. I'm sure the reason why he pulled her over was because she was breaking some form of a law rather than the colour of her skin.
Yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
The way this officer conducted himself is nothing but exemplary. Have to say that. The funny thing is, the demographic thing got in the way of what should have been just a normal attendance. It certainly got in the way. The weaponization and the propaganda has now created this scenario.
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Where you've got a Mexican police officer that will pull over someone who's just broke the law, regardless of the colour, because of that woman who has been pulled over is now a black lady. That black lady is now wearing some kind of victim mentality, and he's now going to turn around against the Mexican.
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
And tell the Mexican that they are a murderer. A murderer. I can't fathom the amount of ignorance. I mean, you certainly hit the wrong target here. The dangerous thing is, this lady is a teacher. She's a teacher. If she's teaching in her class, what kind of a rhetoric is she pumping out? Because if the first chance that she gets, she speaks to a police officer in this manner.
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
And accuses him of being a murderer when he's done nothing wrong. The only reason clearly why she's calling him a murderer is because of the Black Lives Matter rhetoric, that all of a sudden every policeman is a born killer against the black demographic. The crazy thing is, this lady is supposed to be an educated lady, a teacher. No idea what the ultimate demographic of where she lives is like, but let's put it this way. If she lives in a predominantly black area that may be somewhat socially deprived, economically deprived, maybe, within that you're going to get the gang culture, black on black crime. So this lady is quick to call this Mexican gentleman, police officer, a murderer.
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
If she lives in a black area that's predominantly black on black crime, who's she more likely to get killed by? Would it be a white person? Would it be a Mexican? Or would it be a black person? We all know the answer. No, I'm not saying this to dog out the black race. No, I love black people, I love white people, I love Mexican people. But I can't stand by and watch people miscategorize people.
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
For no reason. This man done his job, and he took the crap from this lady, and he's still done his job. Black Lives Matter will be patting this lady on the back for the way she addressed this police officer. But she was wrong, totally off the mark. And she's a teacher. Do you want a teacher teaching your kids that thinks like this?
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
And he's going to address a police officer when you're in the wrong, going to address the police officer like that? Nasty, nasty rhetoric. So I'm going to play this video for you. You can have a look at it, make your own mind up. I would say this is malicious. And this kind of rhetoric gets people killed. Never mind accusing the police officer of murder. That kind of rhetoric against the police, which is unfounded when you go by numbers, you go by the probability of how a black individual is likely to demise. Quite simple, but yet the rhetoric still is.
I pulled you over
Because you're a murderer.
Where's the justification to accuse this man of being a murderer? Where is it? If this lady was in trouble, walking around an area, got mugged, got raped, would she address the attending officer in that way? You've just been attacked by an individual. A policeman comes to help you.
I pulled you over
Because you're a murderer.
The first thing you do is lay allegations against the policeman that he's the murderer. Can you see how twisted this is? But this is the liberalised Marxist agenda that is toxifying some black individuals against innocent people. Some people won't like to hear that, but it's the truth, isn't it? You can see it. You can see the rub-off that this will have. How many white people are going to look at her and go, what are you talking about? Not everyone's going to have a balanced, rational way of dealing with this. This is actually going to create racism. From, you could argue, the white race and now the Mexican race.
I pulled you over
because you're a murderer.
Do you want to make demographics hate each other even more? What's the point of that? Who wins with that kind of deal? The elites, the Marxists, the communists. Oh, Red Pill Phil, love you all. Even the people that accuse innocent people of murder.
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell phone while you're recording.
I can record you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
Thank you.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer. You're a murderer.
He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the red box right there.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso?
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right?
Humans are so stupid.
That's because their brains are analog instead of digital.